channel. Hello guys, thanks for staying with us and welcome back to another wonderful moment on Final Whistle, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of World Cup special on Final Whistle. We know how they do it here. Now here we give a preview on what is going on in the particular feature, and this time around exactly as 12 a.m. at the Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, Ivory is set to take on Ecuador in another phase of the feature of the World Cup. Official,
yeah.
Alpha.
Always a pleasure.
Hi, your side.
I do.
Well, my name is Charles. I remain your humble host. So stick to the end of this video to get the amazing preview from this, because we're going to be talking about a lot of things, form, players to watch out for, prediction, what to expect, and everything. So, officially, let's go straight into the topic of the day without further ado. What are we expecting from this feature?
Yes, a lot. So we're expecting to see free-flowing football.
Okay.
Because I will tell you, this is a fixture that when you just hear it, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, it's not so big in terms of the Brazil, Morocco, and everything. Yeah. But I will tell you for a fact, if you're a neutral, if you're a general football lover, this is a match you don't want to sleep on. Believe me, I know it's going to take place in the middle of the night, but I'll urge you to just watch 10-15 minutes of the game. Then you will see if you go doze off or not. So the game is going to promise a lot because of the kind of players that they are. And I think I prefer this kind of team. Do you know why? I prefer teams that have average players rather than stars. When a team is too star-studded, everybody is like, we're talking about names compared to team. So we're going to see a team that involves style playing, more like team performance. Ecuador, they're a team. They're not known because of one player. Even despite they have one of the most expensive players in the ranks in terms of Moises Caicedo, you understand? They are not known for one of the individual players that are more like a team. The same goes for Ivory Coast. Even if they had one of the players, one of the most expensive African players, I think that was Nicolas Pepe, bought for 72 million by Arsenal at that time. It's still not based on individual persons. It's based on team. So let us expect team to team. As I say, if you're a neutral, like you don't support either Ivory Coast or Ecuador, this is a game you don't want to sleep on.
Michelle, let's talk about the style of play from these two teams. How they play their game, the pattern and everything.
Yes, talking about style, coming into this fixture, I think Ecuador have gone almost 18 games without conceding a goal. They're the best defensive side in the world. If you have heard about Arsenal, then there's a team learning. There's where Arsenal learned that they don't score more, they don't score much, but they know how to defend. Most of their games have ended 1-0
or draw.
Yeah, or draw.
I've seen a lot of draws,
basically, you know, go score them, but they feel no score you. And it is evident because of the players that they have. They have a lot of black players, a lot of physical players, the likes of Caicedo, and Valencia, William Pacho, the guy they are rocking of this now. The PSG guy, you understand? So they have a lot of them in Capi of Arsenal too. So they have a lot of defensive-minded players than the attack. Because Valencia, the last time I heard of Valencia was when he played at West Ham. That was about 6 years ago, and he's still leading the attack of Ecuador.
He's doing something good.
Not that he's doing something good. They don't have options. They have limited options in that center forward. That is why they score less goals. You understand? But they are young at the back. They are able at the back. That's why they defend more, and it is evident from the result they are getting. Compared to Ivory Coast that wants to play on the counter attack, they play more like the olden days of Manchester United. They want to hit you on the counter because they have fast wingers, they have fast play, the likes of Yandamonde, the likes of Amad Diallo, and they have players on the likes of Diakete. So they have a lot of players on the bench that can hurt you, not within exchanging passes, but anytime they want to run. So we're going to see a counter-attacking side of play from Ivory Coast. I'm going to say a defensive side of play from Ecuador.
It's going to be a tough match. It's going to be a tough match, a tough war we're going to watch in this future, because on the other side of Ivory Coast, in their 5 last matches, I saw Ivory Coast and I saw Ecuador. Ecuador has 2 draws and 3 wins.
3 wins,
Or compared to Ivory Coast, they have 4 wins and 1 loss.
So is this draw or loss?
Lost. They lost that game. So we are going to see a defending side of Ecuador, like you said, and an attacking side of Ivory Coast. So, well, we're gonna go watch that match. That match go tough. Talking about form, otherwise official, the two teams look like they are both in the same form, level of form.
Yes, it is what it is. Like they are oozing into confidence going into this. I think there's this popular saying we use on this final whistle when we say you're as good as your last match. So we're talking about their last matches, the friendly that they played, the head-to-head that they had before coming into this fixture. It's good for both teams. It's good for both teams. They didn't lose in their last matches. Ivory Coast cruising. You understand? They want France,
Yeah.
the favourites to win the World Cup. Ivory Coast win them from a goal down.
Yeah.
Nobody say France rest
Came from
players.
behind.
Nobody say France rest players. France did not rest any player.
They use all
You
their star
understand? The
players.
Mbappe's, the anything you can call it, play that match, and Ivory Coast found a way to come back. You understand, to do justice to that. So it's something to watch out for. So, but based on form, I want to kind of table like you already start out now. In their last 5 matches, Ivory Coast have won 4, lost one, compared to Ecuador that have played 5. You understand? 1, 3, draw 2. But if you look at it statistically, Ivory Coast is still edging them based on form wise.
Yeah. Now, visual, another key part of this feature that's going to be interesting is players to watch out for, because we have a lot of star players both in the Ecuador side and also in the Ivory Coast side. So I don't know if you have players that come across your mind that you feel we should watch out for going to this feature.
There's a lot, but I'll be picking few because something that the best thing that happens to us as a country, as country football, is for the fact that a big star can come from a country that is bank average. Let me put it like that. You understand? Exactly the point now, because you're looking at Erling Haaland that plays for Norway. No disrespect to Norway, but just imagine Erling Haaland being a Spanish player. By now, probably Spain would have won more World Cups or the other. You understand? But sad to say, he's in Norway. But it is what it is. I think they've qualified for the World Cup, so I think we afford them with that respect. So I will start from Ivory Coast, an African team, but they boost with a lot of stars, mixed with young age and experience. And this is where it comes to place. The first person on my list is Ousmane Diamonde, the centre back that played for Sporting CP. Very, very good. We have talked about modern day football, how defenders are now more than just booting out the ball, defending and everything. How defenders now can start the play from the back so that they are more like press resistant, because strikers want to press you, but your calmness, your ability to collect the ball from the goalkeeper and locate your midfielder, your 6 or your 4 or your 8 and 10 is one of the strong attributes of a modern day centre back. And Ousmane Diamonde, I'm telling you, after this World Cup, we expect him to get a move away from Sporting CP. Because inquiries from Liverpool, Chelsea and the rest, you understand, I don't expect him to stay that long. And with the outgoings in Portugal League, anytime where people define player and Portugal League, so I'm tipping Ousmane Diamonde to be one of those players to watch out for. You understand? That's not you and Diamonde, this Ousmane, the one player at centre back, because they have 2 Diamondes. So that is it for me. Then Doué, that plays for Strasbourg, the mother club of Chelsea.
It was a nightmare for France the other day.
Yes, his brother is playing for France, but him is playing for I'm telling you, talking about right back that knows how to defend an arbiter. A lot of comparisons have happened between Arnold down the years and Rhys James, where they say one is good in attacking, one is good in defending. Okay, this one, Doué, can do the beautiful side of defending as a right back and can do the ugly side of defending as a right back. So you want him to gallop down the line, he's your man. You want pace, he's your man. You want 1v1 defending, he's your man. You want him to retain possession, he's your man. You understand? And that is evident in the goal he scored against France, because it was a counter attack as a right back. What were you looking for in the position of a centre forward? To tell you that he can move with the game, he can flow with the game. So Doué is one to watch out for if Ecuador are going to take something out of this, because eventually if Ecuador are marking their front line, Doué can slot in from right back and do something. So I think Doué is one to watch out for in that defense. Then I'll be going somewhere else that I'll be going to slightly into their midfield. I think the midfield is going to be a problem for Ivory Coast, because they have a lot of old legs in that midfield, because I'm talking about Sarri 34, 33, Sesko Fofana 32, the likes of Kesia 33, Ibrahim Sangare still playing another for about 30 something. But the young and the prospect in that midfield has to be Inau, that plays for Trabzonspor. I think he won the Turkish Cup with Onuachu and Chibuike. You understand? It's very, very good. We saw what he can do in the AFCONs. Very, very young, just at 20 years old. What can't he do as a number 10? Good at receiving the ball in tight spaces, good at dribbling, has an eye for pass. He can also score a goal. Good tenacity, everything. He's a total package in one. This is first World Cup, and I'm sure he will drop performances, because the old legs now definitely they can't do the much of the running. So he's going to see much work from him now. And I'm telling you, if he's one of those players that drop performances in this World Cup, we get to see him get a bigger hit than Trabzonspor. Hopefully that. Then there are a lot to talk about in the attack, but I'll stick to this guy Nicolas Pepe. And there's a reason why. Yes, if you want to put it like that, there's a reason why I'm calling Nicolas Pepe. He didn't go to the AFCONs with them. He didn't go with the AFCONs with them due to some backlash or some reason like that. I think he shared his own disappointment online. But if you look at the way he prepared for the World Cup, it's evident that he has to go. You get some kind of say they will try to deny you, but because of the work where you put in, nobody can deny you. Okay, now they qualified for the Champions League last season because of what he did. That is one. Sadly, they were the worst performing team in the Champions League, I think out of 36, they finished 35. Just pick 1 point.
Yeah.
Okay, that's by the way. But the league, they have qualified again for the Champions League. They finished third. And why? Almost 60% of their goals. It's either Nicolas Pepe created it or he scored it for Villarreal. So you understand what I'm saying now? 60% of Villarreal's goals in the La Liga, it's either he created it via an assist or he scores that goal. So looking at all the attack in this what's it called, Ivory Coast attack, is the one with the highest goal contribution.
Seems to be the brightest.
It seems it's the brightest. It's the brightest. I would have called Boni that played for Inter Milan, but Boni was a bit player. He used to come on for Marcus Thuram and Lautaro Martinez. So in terms of attack, in terms of numbers, you understand. I would
you can't take Amadiallo from that front line.
Yes, Amadiallo has dropped in form.
Yeah.
Though he scored in the last match for Ivory Coast.
But he was spectacular in the AFCON.
Yes, after the AFCONs, we came back to the Premier League. So I'm not looking at just the AFCONs. I'm looking at what you did after the AFCONs. Okay. So after the AFCONs, how many goals did Amadiallo score for Manchester United? How many assists?
One assist,
You understand? So you understand where I'm coming from. Unlike Nicolas Pepe that continued, unlike Boni of Inter Milan that continued, unlike Wai of Oginis that continued. There are many players that I would have even called in terms of statistically before Amadiallo. Not that he's not a threat, not that his right wing position will be under scrutiny or someone will come and bench him. But I'm telling you, based on the numbers I have, I feel that the likes of Adingra, the likes of even this one of the most luckiest players in this season, Ivan Gusant, that played for Crystal Palace. He won the Europa League and he won the Conference League just in one season. He played half of the season with Aston Villa, half of the season with Crystal Palace, and he collected both medals. So there are many I would have called. But Amadiallo is one to watch out for. But my own player on that attack, I think I have to give it up for Nicolas Pepe.
You talk about the Ecuador side.
Yes, Ecuador too. It's so funny that we have about 3 or 4 players to call out for. The most obvious one, the most expensive player in the ranks, definitely Moses Caicedo. This season has not been the brightest for him. But I'll tell you, for a team that we can attribute their brilliance and dominance to defending, Caicedo as a midfielder, as a deep playing midfielder, is a testament to whatever they're doing at that back. Yeah. I'm telling you, he's a good cover. You understand? A lot of people have said and have questioned his ability going forward, but you can never question his ability defending. You understand? So he's one to watch out for. Then this guy, William Pacho. You understand? We saw what he did with PSG. I think he's the first Ecuadorian to win 2 Champions League. It says a lot. You understand? A lot of people say they missed him against Chelsea in the Club World Cup. Probably if he had played that match, would have won. We won't know. Maybe next time we'll meet that one day. So, but William Pacho is a very, very organizing centre back that he can disrupt the movement of the likes of Amadiallo, the likes of Nicolas Pepe, or whatever is coming out for. Then I think lastly on my list is Kendry Paz. And the reason I'm calling Kendry Paz is a lot was said. He's the most expensive Ecuadorian. Chelsea bought him at 16 years old. Okay, because of his work permit and everything, he could not travel. Hence, Chelsea loaned him 2 years till he gets to 18 years old. Okay, 18 he was supposed to join Chelsea's first team, but Chelsea did not give him an opportunity, so they loaned him back to Strasbourg, their parent club. And I'll tell you, he has been a revelation for Strasbourg. You understand where I'm coming from? So a lot of players to call out for. I would have called Nkapie and the rest. Then there was a reason why I did not even call Amadiallo now. I'll tell you, but we'll get to after the match. Okay, now Amadiallo plays that wing, right? Nicolas Pepe plays that wing. Am I going somewhere with you there?
Yeah.
In terms of numbers, as a coach now, as Faye, the head coach of Ivory Coast, Amadiallo's numbers, Nicolas Pepe's numbers, and they are both left-sided wingers.
It has to be Pepe all day.
You understand? You understand why I picked a player to watch out for Pepe ahead of Amadiallo. I think these are the basic players that work. But the rest, and one thing about World Cup is we have always maintained it's a 7-game tournament. A player, a dark horse that we have never heard of, or that is doing well but is not, it doesn't have that PR, can just decide to take the match by the bull, and at the end of the day we'll see probably man of the match performances and everything.
Well, thank you so much, official. I think this one is for the investors. We have to talk about the prediction, official. What do you think the scoreline is going to be?
I don't want to say for the investors. I'll say for the game readers. And I'll say it's going to be a tough match. Like we said, we already start. One is defensively sound. One likes to score goals and likes to play on the counter. But the defense is shaky because the likes of Agbadu at the back, Indika at the back, I don't so much trust them. 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, official. Thank you so much. It's always good to have you here. And that's our time. Let's know what you feel about this in the comment section. And 12 a.m. at the Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia. Ivory Coast is set to take on Ecuador in this part of the World Cup. A tough match, a game you should watch out for. No sleep, oh. Watch out for that game. See you guys next time.
And I think I will support Ivory Coast. We don't have beef with them. You understand? My beef is South Africa. My beef is South Africa and partially Ghana. And the Ghana's beef is love beef. You understand? It's not hatred.
It's not hatred beef. But South Africa won.
If Ghana win, we celebrate them. If they lose, we cook them. For South Africa, you lose, you draw, anything you do, we are going to get cooked.
We'll cook you.
So Ivory Coast, I'm rooting for them, man.
You're already, yes, you're ready.
Exactly. So I have to
go Ivory Coast. See you guys next time. Thank you.